In the plague years of the 1980s, that low decade of denial, indifference, hostility, opportunism, and idiocy, government fiddled and medicine diddled, and the media were silent or hysterical.
Although most Americans benefited, the gap between the richest and poorest became a chasm.
There wasn't much of an inaugural audience today in Overtown, which, like much of Black America, has not felt part of the life of this nation for a long time.
Some say Ronald Reagan won the Cold War by spending so much on defense that the Kremlin went bankrupt trying to keep up. That won't wash.
Maybe it might help in putting race relations back on the front burner after they've been subjugated for so long. As a result of the Reagan years.
Did his vision include extraordinary deficits? Did his vision include cutting the budgets for education and back of the hand in terms of?
Are you saying morally history will not be kind to him?
I didn't love Ronald Reagan.
I didn't either. I don't get why he is thought to be.
And I'll tell you why. It's a matter of perspective. You didn't see in my community. I grew up in Los Angeles in the inner city. You never saw drugs or drive-bys or homeless people, anything like that. All the social programs that were cut as a result of Reagan coming in office. And greed just became a hobby.
A gerontocratic Ronald Reagan took this plague less seriously than Gerald Ford had taken swine flu. After all, he didn't need the ghettos, and he didn't want the gays.
During Reagan's presidency, the United States itself became a bankrupt country.
There were losers. Cuts in social programs created a homeless population that grew to exceed that of Atlanta.
Really, you never saw drugs or drive-by. You never even saw homeless people. I remember watching him, and I was a kid, watching him say people in America who are homeless because they want to be.
No, I don't think history particularly will be kind. They'll talk about all that superficial stuff that all of you have been talking about. But when it gets down to the real substance, I don't think history has any reason to be kind to you.
Over here, I don't think nothing will change this.
After 8 years of what many saw as the Reagan administration's benign neglect of the poor and studied indifference to civil rights, a lot of those who lived through this week in Overtown seem to think the best thing about George Bush is that he is not Ronald Reagan.
Scientists at the National Institutes for Health were preoccupied trying to beat out the French for a retrovirus patent. Bureaucrats at the Food and Drug Administration couldn't be bothered to test the blood supply. And so by 1992, 194,364 American men, women, and children were dead.
AIDS became an epidemic in the 1980s. Nearly 50,000 died. Reagan largely ignored it.
I would never, ascribe any level of greatness to somebody who would say, if somebody's hungry in America, it's because they're on a diet. Like that, to me, made greedy white men feel good about being greedy white men. And he was the kind of Moses of leading them into feeling good about being greedy white men. So to me, he wasn't a great man.